sucker for love. And in this world full of suckers, you fit mine like a glove. The fit is perfect, but nobody above, yeah. The clock's ticking as the time flies by. We in two different worlds, but living the same life. Two different dreams, you make me feel so alive. Need you by my side, need you by my side. Just a power couple daily blowing off steam. Making love to you so damn seamlessly. We be doing it so damn frequently. Easy cause we on the same damn frequency. Take it to the Sunset Boulevard. Tell mama says she wanna tag along. She don't care if it's right or if it's wrong. Yeah, we'd always get along. Even through the downs, gotta stay strong. Now we singing the same song. All I ever get is think about you. I think about you daily. So baby girl, don't play me. All I ever get is think about you.
They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, family? It's your boy DTLF back one of the late nights. All right, this is a late night Lakers talk video, man. Had to do it because, of course, the Lakers made a phenomenal comeback, and I mean absolutely phenomenal, to the point where I was very impressed. And by a couple players, they continue to impress. All right, but let's get into it, man. The Lakers defeated San Antonio Spurs 89-88 in a thrilling comeback victory tonight, July 8, 2025, right before the Las Vegas Summer League that starts July 10th. Now, final score 89-88. Right, this was the Lakers' final game in the California Classic. We improved to a 2-1 record heading into the, again, Las Vegas Summer League. We trailed by 14 points, but again, we mounted a phenomenal comeback led by key performances, guys. Now, the Lakers tightened up in the second half, holding the Spurs to 88 points despite a high-scoring half in the first half, right? It was awesome. It was awesome to see these guys step up, especially when Dalton Knecht, right? What's up? Strega, good to see you, Kimmy. Goats, Jojo, we in here. But yeah, listen, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Strega. Appreciate the love, my friend. But listen, here's the thing, right, about this Laker team. Just like I mentioned before the California Classic even started, this is the best roster I have seen since the Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, Summer League team that actually won the championship. And Dalton Knecht tonight actually looked good. 25 points, 8 rebounds. Was very impressive, man. He hit some clutch buckets down the stretch. This is what we expect from Dalton moving forward. So hopefully he can put away the ugly start first couple of games and can continue doing this. When he's aggressive like this, it looks effortless for him. He looks like the number 17 overall pick. He had 8 points in the first quarter, but overall he was just efficient, right? Found his rhythm again in the fourth quarter, hitting a late 3 to help secure the win, right? Also had 8 rebounds, which is huge. He needs to have a two-way presence to be able to stay out there on the court when the regular season starts, assuming he's still on the roster, right? Despite it being Summer League and him going through a shooting slump, right? Knecht's clutch performance was huge tonight for the Lakers. Without him, we don't win. Now let's go and talk about the next young man, the one that doesn't have a roster spot. There's 2 of them, but one really, really, really made me think differently about him today, right? And that is our guy, Darius Basley. All right, now this is a guy who was drafted a couple years back, 5 years ago. He's been a journeyman since. But tonight, he gave us heart, he gave us hustle, and he gave us energy. And he's actually proven what I already said. I already said this. He could become a cheap replacement for Vando, assuming they trade him. 27 points, 13 rebounds on 4 for 6 from the field, right? Was extremely impressive, man. And key free throws for him. He stuffed the stat sheet, fam. He was tremendous, and I think this kid has a bright future, whether he's with the Lakers or not, right? Darius Basley, he really, really, really won me over during the California Classic. Now, he's still got some time to show out over the next couple of games in the Las Vegas Summer League. The competition is going to be more stiff, for sure, right? But, man, what this kid showed tonight shows that he has NBA-level talent. If Vando could be out here, Vando can't finish around the basket like this kid has, or even has this kid's handle. But it's all about the defense at this point, right? I'd invite this kid to training camp and have him actually go up against Vando compare both of them and then actually play him in some preseason games and see how he can do. Maybe give him a couple of 10 days. Then we go from there. Because I'm really liking this kid as a prospect for a Vando replacement. Just because he can pick up 1 through 5, it looks like. And he brings that energy, man. He reminds me of like, y'all remember Russell Westbrook when he was younger, but from a big man perspective. Maybe not as explosive, but close. And that can be, he can kind of play the Draymond role for the Lakers. Not saying he'll be that good, but that could be his role, that role, to disrupt, a disruptor coming off the bench and providing energy, a spark plug. I would like that, man. I would like that a lot for a young player like him, right? And, again, proving that he's grown and gotten better. He's actually pulling the trigger on the 3 now confidently. Even though his form isn't the best, but he's pulling it, right? If Sean Marion can make a living from beyond the arc with an ugly form, then maybe this guy can at least survive from back there and make himself a decent threat to the point where defenses have to respect him. And now it opens up the lanes. He can drive and do all kinds of things and cut without the basketball. I really like Darius Basley today. And I think he was an eye-opener for a lot of scouts, not just the Lakers. If he doesn't fit with the Lakers or they don't want him, I'm sure some other team will get him because, man, that attribute right there, those are the type of players that we were watching in the finals. The Naismiths of the world. He kind of fits that description. So, again, I'm not comparing him to them as in skill-wise, but as an energy and high motor and athleticism, he's got it. He's got it. So it was nice to see, man, him control the glass and do that. And, he went 2 for 2 in the third quarter, and he kept the Lakers close, right? Versatile wing, man, with a lot of energy. He was critical in tonight's game. So, again, caught my attention. Again, I want to talk about another kid, man. Another kid. That is Cole Swider. Again, providing clutch buckets. Again, coming around and hitting some timely buckets. He actually displayed some defense. He blocked a shot there late. And his veteran leadership is showing on this roster. Also, again, we don't have too many roster spots, if any at all, but these guys are really making it tough to make these decisions, And Bronny didn't get much burn or whatever, but he brought energy early on. He didn't have it going today. He kind of had butterfingers today. Looks like, he was all over the popcorn. Didn't even know what flavor before he got to the game. So, yeah, but I really read it. Dan, Mono, and Fem. I think she meant Kimiko. I love it. I got you, Striker. I got you. Knecht finally showing up, hitting game-winning shots. And Darius Basley is a baller. Solid defender and rebounder and has good defense and moves too. I'll be honest, from the 3 players, Cole Swider, Dalton Knecht, and Darius Basley, I'd pick Darius Basley. Because I feel like his skill set is going to fit what the Lakers need more. Sure, we could use shooting, but we could use defense and rebounding and hustle more than that, believe it or not. So whether he takes somebody's 2-way contract or whether they cut somebody to add him, I think he's starting to make a name for himself. If he can replicate this in the Las Vegas Summer League against the top talent, first test coming up, going to be Cooper Flag. If Darius Basley can do that, then it's a no-brainer. You got to figure out a way to clear a spot for him, even if you got to trade away a Gabe Vincent or something like that. Whatever. Shake Milton, cut him before the 20th. Whatever it takes, just get it done. Hit the like button, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Kimmy Goat, for always reminding the good people. JoJo says, I don't see Bronny in the NBA that long only because he's 6'1" and don't want to run the point guard. You know what? Sadly, JoJo, I feel like they're playing him at that position. Right? He needs to come up and demand the ball. He's going to have to do that. And if he doesn't do that, then it's going to be hard for him to survive. You're right about that. So hopefully Bronny does step up and is more aggressive. But right now he's been on limited minute restrictions. One thing I do like about him, JoJo, and why I think he may or may not stick around, I like his defense a lot. I like his hustle. A couple of times he got his hand in the passing lane. He was active. He was disrupting stuff. And I really like that, man. I like the kid's, personality. I like his makeup. He's a good kid. But he did have his, again, hands in the popcorn, and there was a lot of butter on the ball. Butter on the biscuit. Cut Jameson, sign Basley. I might have to agree. I don't care who they have to cut, but Basley is really proving himself. Every game he's been impressive. So has Cole Swider, but I just feel like Cole's limited in his defense and rebounding and other things, while Basley excels in everything but scoring. But with his energy, he might even have big scoring nights from time to time, right? Like he did tonight. But again, this is Summer League. I do believe it can translate to training camp, preseason, and eventually regular season. He said Lamar Odom minus the passing. Yeah, Basley's an interesting prospect for sure. He reminds me of what was that guy from Syracuse named Johnson? Who was that guy from Syracuse? We had him a couple of years ago. He was very skinny. We thought he was going to be like what Darius Basley's doing right now. He didn't. Something Johnson, all right? And it's not Stanley. That's my boy. It was another Johnson. It was a wing, small forward, about 6'7". Never panned out, but Darius Basley has that 3-and-D style of play and potential that the NBA is so hungry for. And he's got good size. What is he, 6'9"? Great size, athlete. The more athletes, the better. I think this guy's really going to catch the Lakers' eyes if he keeps playing like this. Wesley Johnson, there he is. Appreciate you, bro. Man, you guys are awesome with the names. It was somewhere back there. Yeah, Wesley Johnson. This guy, look, Darius Basley looking like what we thought Wesley Johnson was going to become when we signed him, or did we trade for him? I think we signed him. And he never lived up to it, but I think this guy can bring that type of energy from the wing position, even, power forward position, and can guard 1 through 5 at times when they go small. Could help, man. Could be the long-term Vandal replacement. If Vandal keeps being injured or not learning anything else other than defense, it's going to be tough for him to stay out there. Defensive rebounds is all Vandal does. This guy might have a higher motor, better attacking ability, and I believe he's younger. I have to double-check that. Hey, saludos, Victor. Saludos from Los Angeles, man, from California. Saludos, bro. Shout out to Guatemala. Go Lakers. Let's get it, man. But, yeah, hey, listen, guys, Swider's been impressive. DJ Stewart, he had one of the, lesser impressive games, but throughout, he's been very tremendous for sure. Bronny James kind of had a downward game on this one, but all in all, man, I'm really liking what I'm seeing there from this, summer league team. And yeah, Baze is really standing out for sure. Baze is standing out. All right, guys, it is time to share this with you guys because I was very happy to see the enthusiasm from DeAndre Ayton. He was hyped, man. This is what we want to see from Lakers, right?
That's what I'm talking about. That's not purple to gold, baby.
How excited he is, yo.
Come on, boy. Yeah.
Y'all really think he's not going to drop 17 and 10 at least? I'm going to up my prediction after seeing that excitement. I'm thinking 18 and 10. 18 and 11 maybe even with 2 blocks. If he brings that passion, that energy, and that excitement to the Lakers, man, I like what I see. I like the kid's attitude. Everything they say about him just doesn't coincide with what I heard today and what I see personally. I see a good kid who just wasn't motivated because he's been put on the back burner due to going over to Portland, who's not competing, and they're not really doing anything. So that could really, really discourage somebody. And he talked about it. He touched a little bit on it today, man. So I think Ayton will be unlocked here with the Lakers for sure. And I look forward to it, man. Where's that other guy we signed? You're talking about Jake LaRavia? He's there. He had his presser today as well. Right? A lot of people are afraid that he's just going to be one of those end of the bench guys, but we'll see. We'll see. In other news, guys, Dallas Mavericks All-Star Anthony Davis underwent a procedure to repair a detached retina. Ouch. That he suffered during the season. Sources tell ESPN Davis played through multiple hits in the face last year. He is expected to be healthy next training camp. Here's the thing, right? AD, we love you, bro. Wear the goggles. Who cares if you look nerdy? Who cares? All right. Big Game James pulled it off. You can too. All right. Wear the goggles, bro. It's not worth that. Detached retina sounds so painful. Ugh. My eyes hurt just thinking about it. So, again, I wish him the best. Wish him a speedy recovery and all of that, man. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. That's a good sign. We players to get their J back. We definitely need players that can shoot for sure. Let's see. Real Dubaya says, agreed. Ayton seemed pretty humble and down to earth. Welcome to Lakers Nation and hoping he does well here. Yeah, man. Sometimes you could just you can read somebody's body language and just see if they're really good, chill people. And he just seems like a good guy. Was kind of gotten the short end of the stick. He talked about it in this league. When you don't win, you become forgotten. So he's hungry to win. He joined the right team. I knew he was going to do it. Again, I told you guys days before it happened. My source had told me 90% chance it happened. It just felt like it was a marriage, made in heaven for sure, right? So, yeah. No problem. No worries, JoJo. All love. No worries. deleted the comment. I wrote everything wrong. It's all good. I was trying to figure out what you were trying to say, but I kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together. Where's Dixon? We have no updates on him whatsoever, man. Hopefully they saved him for Las Vegas Summer League. Maybe we won't see everybody we saw here during the California Classic, but I'd say the California Classic was a good success, man. Usually we lose all 3 games or 2 of the 3. We won 2 of the 3, and today's game was probably the most impressive for sure. They led by a furious comeback, led by Dalton and Darius Basley and Cole Swider, right? So again, man, you love to see it, guys. You love to see it, and hopefully we can build on that, right? And let's go ahead and we can check out some of the highlights here because it was really impressive, man, the way the Lakers came back here and
Basley the rebound
and won this game. They were down 14. Look at that. When there's no hesitation on that jump shot, it is money. Young money, cash money, baby. Look at this. Off the dribble, putting the ball on the floor, going to the basket, eye off the glass, misses, but Basley with the putback. That right there is that high motor I'm talking about for number 36, Darius Basley. The way he was able to follow that ball, he's got a good nose for the ball, for the rebound, for the glass. And you might get away with some small ball with this guy. There he is, handing it off to the guard. Dalton pulling up, no hesitation, splash. His jump shot is beautiful when he doesn't hesitate. The only thing he got to keep working on is putting the ball on the floor and doing it off the dribble. He's good at catch and shoot or in transition, but off the dribble, right? And there you have it again, Basley. So, man, you know what? Let's build on it. I think Las Vegas can be extremely fun if they play this hard. The most thing that stood out to me is that this team is coached well. Shout out to Lindsey Harding and the assistant coaching staff. They're coaching this young Laker team extremely well. They're playing their hearts out, right? Love it, man. Love it. Let's see. SSGT. Hey, man. Hey, thank you so much, man, for your service, brother. Appreciate you. My guy's a war veteran. He said, diehard Lakers fan here. Grew up watching Magic Johnson. My wife and I think this is the best Laker channel in all of YouTube. Great Lakers channel out there. Can we sign Al Horford as a backup? Oh, man. First of all, I'm honored, man. Thank you. And to your wonderful wife as well, man, for that high praise. There's a lot of great YouTube channels out here, but I do appreciate that. Secondly, Al Horford is weighing in his options, right? It's actually intriguing because I'm starting to think he might be leaning towards retirement because, from my personal source, I haven't heard him leaning towards any of the couple of teams that have offered him something, which have been, well, actually, there's 3 teams. It's the Denver Nuggets, from what I heard, the Golden State Warriors, and the Lakers, right? Usually by now, we're in July 8th. We're going on July 9th. Well, if you're in the East Coast, it's already July 9th. Usually by now you hear where big name free agents like Damian Lillard and Al Horford and all these guys, where they're signing, right? So we haven't heard nothing. So that's what's intriguing. Could Al Horford be retiring? Maybe, maybe not. Damian Lillard said he's going to take his time to make his decision, but I'm still waiting for any day now. The Lakers could cut Shake Milton, non-guaranteed salary, and they can go and sign an Al Horford, but he has to agree to come to us. I think it's a perfect fit. But then again, he fits in nicely in Golden State. He fits in nicely in Denver, and he fits in nicely everywhere. So, veteran championship experience would be a nice backup, man. And Ken, you and your wife know ball, man. So shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys, man. Thanks so much for the love, and again, for everything you do for this country, man. Thank you, Kimmy Go. Appreciate you. Yes. Podcast dropping tomorrow, officially coming back. You guys been asking me for it, DMing me. You guys want more than just basketball talk. So Beyond Sports coming tomorrow to my second channel, Primetime TV. If you haven't subscribed, tap the link. Kimiko is hooking you up. It's very easy. Go subscribe, guys. We're going to be talking life, man. We're going to be talking a little bit of everything. You know what's happening with the immigration status and all that. People have been asking me. They want to hear my opinion. This isn't the channel for that. But that podcast, definitely going to be touching on a lot of controversial things, live topics, all this good stuff, movie reviews, everything. You name it. You got it, man. Exclusively on Primetime TV, all right? So Beyond Sports coming back. Thank you for reminding me, Kimmy Goat. Tony, what's up, man? Nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you too, brother. Because I have a feeling that Luka will help Ayton reach his potential. Looking forward to that. You know what? I do too. If you just look at Luka's track record, he makes everybody look good, man, from beginning to the end. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man, and I hope that we can build a chemistry there, and hopefully it's a long-term marriage, meaning they're able to build something special to the point where we can re-up with Ayton and build that, right? Build that. Let's see. Come on, fam. 270 plus watching. Let's hit that like button. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, it's actually 350 if you count the Twitter followers. I'm watching from the top right here. So appreciate you guys, man. That's a lot of love. David said, will Yessie be your special guest host? Saludos, Dan. Well, I got 2 podcasts coming back. Yessie will be on the late night talk one that we had already started. You know, we're not just going to stick, you know, to horror stuff. We're going to do all kinds of stuff, man. So definitely tap in there. And of course, she's welcome to go on my platform whenever she likes, even on Beyond Sports. Yes, absolutely. If there's a topic that she is interested in, she can definitely be my you know, she can be my co-guest for sure. Right? All right. Is there a puncher's chance we could trade for Gafford at the deadline? You know what? There is. Here's my prediction, guys. If the Lakers go in with this current roster, not making many tweaks, to signing maybe one more guy or something like that, something minor, and we struggle early, you're going to hear the rumblings of LeBron wanting out get louder. I could definitely see Dallas as a trade partner. I can see it. Right? LeBron is going to want a final hoorah. He wants to go win another championship. Cleveland's going to be interested. Golden State's going to be interested. Dallas. Anybody who feels like they're on the verge of winning, they're one piece away, the New York Knicks, they're going to be interested. I can predict that. I can see that right now. Now, will LeBron actually have the cojones to request a trade if we start struggling? Or is he going to use his mouthpiece, Rich Paul? We'll see. But one thing's for sure, this season is going to be very interesting. Every season is, as a Laker fan. It's never been a boring season. Even when we won 16 games, you know, with the late, great Kobe Bryant, it was always interesting, man. It's always, you know, a lot of drama, a lot of storylines, a lot of action. But that's one thing we can never say is that we're bored as Laker fans, ever. We might be dissatisfied. We might be upset. We might want more, but there's always some action. There's always something going on. So we'll see. I did find it extremely interesting. I mentioned earlier during pregame that Rob Pelinka did not come out in the press conference introducing DeAndre Ayton. So it almost feels like this wasn't a Rob Pelinka move. It feels like this might have been a Mark Walter move, or maybe this was a, you know, future management move. We'll see. All right, but things are getting really interesting. They're heating up as the summer progresses, and as we get closer to September, you know, training camp and all that. I got you guys covered because I have a feeling more storylines are going to come up. And then remember, August 2, Luka the Don is eligible for a contract extension. So those are all great storylines that we're going to have to follow. Usually I'm off those months, you know, but there's just so much going on with the Lakers. I don't think I'm going to have any off time this year. No vacation time for your boy. That's okay. I love what I do, man. Just make sure you guys hit that like button. You guys appreciate it. Yes, thank you, Kimmy Gold. You're the best. Is there a puncher's chance we could trade for Gafford at the deadline? I think I just answered that. My bad. What do you think of John Collins' trade for the Clippers? Usually they make out like bandits, but I know they didn't want to pay Norman Powell. He just made his first All-Star. I don't know, man. It's not going to make the Clippers that much better, to be honest. Their Clippers are pretenders. They got these old veteran has-beens like Kawhi and like James Harden who are going to have glimpses and sometimes look like superstars, but they're just not going to have enough because they're not those guys anymore. And then they added John Collins and, you know, Zubac's breakout year and all that. But, you know, I really liked, you know, I like what I saw last year from Norman Powell, even though I'm not a Clipper fan. But individually, he's a baller. He's a bucket getter, you know. All right, let's see. I'm going to answer this guy's question. Let's see. Real Deal BB Gun. He said, why would Dallas trade a valuable asset for a 40-year-old guy who doesn't play defense that makes $53 million? Will never happen. Cap, I'll tell you why. I got the answers for you, man. I do got the answers. You got to think outside the box, my friend. First of all, a trade involving Dallas and the Lakers would not, and I repeat, would not include any star players coming back this way. All right. The best you're going to get is Derek Lively. If they have Gafford there and they have AD, assuming he's healthy, they're set at the center position. You get LeBron, you get to keep Cooper Flag, you get to keep Kyrie, D'Lo, all of that. Give us Derek Lively and PJ Washington. It's a very small price to pay for a 4-time champion who could potentially make you a champion. And worst case scenario, those players that you traded are not generational talents. LeBron is. Even at the end of his career, he can make an impact and help you elevate you to a title, maybe even 2. Not saying it will happen, but there's the potential's there. If you're talking about, you're telling me a team with Kyrie, right? Assuming he comes back healthy, maybe not this season, but next year. D'Lo, even though I'm not a fan of his. AD, if he's healthy. Gafford, the first overall pick, Cooper Flag, and LeBron James with plug-in role players and some that might even go in off the buyout market. And with Max Christie, guys like that, that's not enough to move the needle for you. If you're Dallas, then you don't want your championship. Then it was a lie that you traded Luka because you wanted to win now. If they want to put their money where their mouth is, this is your chance. And the Lakers will get what we can take. We'll take Derek Lively because he goes well next to Luka. Or Gafford and P.J. Washington and somebody else. You know, come on now. We got to be smart. And we got to look at this from a broader perspective. You know, Dallas is going all in now. That's why they traded for AD. Why wouldn't they trade for LeBron if you're not going to have to give up none of your major assets? It's not going to be like before where they're going to have to pony up Cooper Flag like the way they ponied up Luka Doncic, right? So, I don't know. JJ was in the press today. Well, I only saw the clip from YouTube that they had on Lakers.com, and I only saw DeAndre Ayton, but I'm sure he was in the room. I'm sure JJ was in the room, unless he was on vacay or something, right? Let's see, $10 billion paid. No way the new owner will allow Rob to do his bargain basement shopping routine. Yeah, something's up here. The fact that Rob Pelinka wasn't allowed to go on and spew the BS about the dry desert and the cactus and the water and the lemonade and all this bullshit. The fact that he wasn't allowed to give his little speech, and it's almost like they saved face. They said, Rob, save face. Do not speak to the media. They're going to eat you alive. You haven't done much. We got this. We'll take it from here. All right. We'll just let DeAndre answer questions. You know, it seems like there's some structure there, some sort of plan, right? And again, we'll see how it plays out, right? We'll see. Dan, with LeBron off the books next offseason, could we go after Jokic in free agency? Or is he most likely going to resign in Denver for more money? Well, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea what the horse-loving Jokic, how loyal he is to that franchise. I don't know. I do know this. Him and Luka have a great relationship. The Lakers have something up their sleeve because they're not tying themselves up for more than 2-year deals. And, you know, they're trying to figure something out. I don't know what that is. I don't know if Mark Walter's in on it. I don't know if new ownership group is in on it. But the fact that Joker came out and said he won't resign right now, that can change. 2 years is a long time. That can change. And when you don't resign, you leave a lot of money on the table. We're talking $50 million plus. So these stipulations are put into place to try to help these smaller market teams to keep their star players from trying to move to big markets, right? The incentive is you make more money if you stay than if you go, right? There's always a chance you can trade for his bird rights and all that. Excuse me. There's always that chance, but it's not very likely. If you're Denver, you probably don't want to trade Jokic, although he's getting older, so you never know. But I think it's too early to speculate right now. You know what I mean? I think it's a little too early to speculate on Jokic. It's an interesting topic of conversation. Me personally, I'm not going to hold my breath for that guy, man. We need to replicate the roster that helped Luka succeed and get to the finals. Mavs did their homework. All Rob has to do is copy it. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I do agree that we need to get athletes around Luka and shooters and defenders, right? But we also, you know, obviously we have the co-star in place. He's just probably not happy right now. But let's see what happens. Is Luka, we didn't have him for a full training camp under this coaching staff. We finally have a big man, which we didn't have after we lost AD. And I'm not calling Ayton the next AD, but he'll be a fraction of that. Right? He might be 1/3 of what AD was, which is pretty good. I'll take 1/3 of AD rather than nothing, rather than Jackson Hayes. And then he'll have his breakout games too. Here's my concern when I look at the roster from top to bottom. You still running the Luka, Austin Reeves backcourt? Because I'm not sure that could work long term. You might have some good games with it, but I'm not sure if that's sustainable through the playoffs. You're going to get attacked, right? You're going to get attacked. You're going to get targeted. Both of those players are. You cannot have two players getting targeted and then a 41-year-old LeBron being your best defender like he was in the last playoffs. Can't have that. Playing 40 minutes per night. So the depth really concerns me. Don't trust Gabe Vincent. Vando, under this coaching staff, I'm not even sure if he's playable because he can't shoot, and they want shooters and defenders. Hence DFS, who left. Who else? There's a couple of dead weight players. Who knows if Bronny actually cracks the rotation this year? We have Maxi Kleber. Who knows what he's going to be? Is he going to be a big part of this team? Like, there's a lot of question marks to this team. And to be a contender, you got to solve those question marks and have answers in place instead of question marks, right? So hopefully the Lakers will have better answers. If they make a move or two, we'll be more settled in as a roster. Right now, we're kind of all over the place right now. We have a little bit of everything, but we're missing something. A backup big for Ayton that we can trust, and at least a ball-handling combo guard who can play, make, and score off the bench. Those two things would solve so much. Of course, I would want a 3-and-D wing, but I think it will take a bigger trade for that, right? Much bigger. Dan, what would it take for us to become contenders? Losing DFS sucks. I hope we can find a replacement for Dorian. As long as we got Luka and Bron, there's no excuses not to be contenders. It sounds good. Those are two big names, Luka and LeBron. Ayton has to be elite for us to be contenders. I'm talking 17, 10, and 2. If we can do that, it'll elevate us. Austin got to come back healthy because the playoff run he had was an atrocity. To the point where even though I love Austin, I even considered trading him. That's the first time in my life that I considered trading Austin, right? But I support him and I love Austin. I hope he gets better. I hope he becomes that 22 to 23 point per game scorer. But I think he can be. And then LeBron. LeBron to me is a big question mark because he's going to turn 41, right? I lost count. Is it 41, 42? And he needs to be able to trust his teammates to the point where, and I said this last year, and I think I probably said this last 2 years, he needs to take a full back seat, meaning instead of averaging 25 points per game, he needs to let Luka and Austin and Ayton carry a lot of scoring load and him become more of a facilitator during the regular season and then score secondly. He can do that. He can be a 19 points, 8 assist guy efficiently too. He needs to be efficient, right? He's always been efficient, but I just feel like as he gets older, he's losing more and more of his athleticism. He runs out of gas quicker. Like we didn't see it in the playoffs. He had some tremendous runs, and then he ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. That's just age. It's normal, too. He's human. So we need to get this man more help in the sense that those guys need to step up. If not, I agree with you. Another 3-and-D wing would be phenomenal. But I'm really looking at the backup big, and I'm looking at the backup point guard positions right now. Both of those need to be fulfilled. Starting lineup, we could figure that out. I wouldn't be opposed to maybe mixing in some Jordan Goodwin instead of Austin, bringing Austin off the bench. That'll bolster our bench. Meanwhile, adding more depth to the starting lineup defensively. Since we don't, I really, who I want in my dream scenario is Marcus Smart gets bought out and the Lakers pick him up. We scoop up Marcus Smart, I start him immediately next to Luka. Perfect starter next to Luka. Defensive player who can play make as well and score sometimes. But next to Luka, a dog, right? Who's got some decent size to him. And then you bring Austin off the bench, and now all of a sudden it fixes so many of your issues. It's a long season, and it's a long off season, so a lot of things can happen. But we're not as far as people think, but we're also not as close as people think. Like, we can't just say LeBron and Luka just automatically make us championship contenders because we saw last season, all it takes is one little sickness to Luka. It'll throw off his game. Anything. We need the depth. We need guys to step up when those guys get in foul trouble, injured, or miss games, right? Throughout the course of the season. The West is a bloodbath. We got to be equipped and ready for war. Here's the good news. DeAndre Ayton said he's very impressed from what he's hearing and seeing from Luka. He called him shredded. And all of my life as a basketball fan, seeing Luka's career, never once has anybody called him shredded. So just like I predicted when we traded from him, he's going to get in shape and he's focused, guys. He's ready to kill this season, and that could be a very dangerous thing for the league. I think we got the MVP if that happens, for sure. Appreciate you, Kimmy Goat. Always out here posting the links. Sharon says, I think the new owner will not allow his team to potentially lose Luka because of incompetent team building. His kind of money doesn't follow rules. He's doing something. I think so too, Sharon. That's what we're seeing, all these weird activities going on, all this mouthpiece, Rich Paul talking for LeBron, Rob Pelinka not showing up to press conferences. We're seeing things we hadn't seen in the Genie Bus era. Okay, the Genie Bus era, it felt like they had a plan and like we're going in one direction. Right now, it's a big question mark. We don't know what Rob's doing this offseason. We don't know why he wasn't at the podium today. We don't know anything. All we know is that there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Luka, and we got to build around him. And there's another newer sheriff in town, the biggest sheriff of them all. That's Mark Walter. And let's see what he does in order to reestablish his franchise and give us, again, something I mentioned pregame, consistency and continuity is what this team needs. And, we need to consistently be contenders. That's the Laker brand and the Laker standard. And we need some continuity as well. Maybe that's why they haven't turned over the roster as much. They keep trying to build chemistry, right? But all right, guys, I think that is going to wrap it up for me. It was going to be a quicker video. I commend the young Lakers squadron for coming out here and they were diving on the floor for loose balls. I guess Game 7 of the playoffs. It was beautiful to watch and actually made it exciting. So let's see if we can keep that excitement coming on Thursday when we face off against the Dallas Mavericks and Cooper Flag, the #1 overall pick. All right, that'll be fun. Darius Basley versus Cooper Flag. All right, go test your might, Darius. See if you can shut down the #1 pick, right? Stuff like that. What is Bronny going to look like? What is Dalton going to look like in the Las Vegas Summer League where the real competition is? How far can this Laker team get? I actually think they can go all the way if they play together. If they start playing individual and everybody wants to make the roster all of a sudden, nobody's going to make the roster, all right? So they got to play together, and hopefully they turn some heads, And we'll see what happens there. But, guys, if anything happens, you guys know where to find me. Make sure you guys turn on that post noti bell if you haven't already. Please subscribe, guys. Make sure you guys do that because I keep you guys informed year-round, all right? So make sure you guys tap in the #1 source for all things Lakers and NBA. Again, video brought to you by Underdog and Prize Picks, promo code DTLF. Tap in, guys. I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Enjoy your night. Peace.